Yeah, Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah. So starting the book of the Qiyama. As I mentioned, why start the book of, why do the Qiyama? Because we have a lot of knowledge of deen, but that's why I did the series on the horrors of the grave, the description of the grave. Imam Ibn Rajab al-Hanbali's book went through that. Why? Because we have very little knowledge of the details of the grave. And Rasulullah ﷺ has told us so much about the grave. Similarly, also the Quran, one of the three themes of the Quran is, one is akhirah. Like you say, like a third of deen is akhirah. Right? The third of Islam is a description of what's happening in akhirah. Because we're going to go there. So we should be prepared for it. We should know about death, what's coming immediately after death. We went through that. We get obsessed by these. We are more concerned about the signs of Qiyamah. A lot of Muslims are anyway. Than actual Qiyamah itself. Like the signs of Qiyamah is telling you about something much bigger, which is Qiyamah and judgment and hisab. That is a much bigger concern for a mu'min than what will happen in this year. That's also important, but it's called Ashratu Sa'a, the signs of Qiyamah. It's a sign telling you something big is coming and you're getting close to it. But we generally focus on the signs more than the actual Qiyamah itself. And we should be concerned. All the du'as are there. That there's more du'as obviously to do with. There are a few du'as about Dajjal, protection from Dajjal, and then there are most of the du'as about Akhirah, because that's the ultimate success. If you succeed there, you succeed forever. I'll start some of the ayat on the Day of Judgment, inshallah. So this is about 200. It's a 750-page book. 200 pages, then starts the ayat. He starts with the verses of the Quran related to Day of Judgment. اقترب للناس حسابهم في غفلة معرضون. Draws near for mankind their reckoning while they turn away in heedlessness. Like for the people, the hisab, their judgment is coming close. Their accounting is coming close. Their reckoning is coming close. While they are heedless. I mentioned a few khutbahs ago about the Rasulullah ﷺ said that increase from the remembrance of the destroyer of pleasure, death. A part of death is also akhirah, because death starts that's the first step of all the stages that comes after it till Janna and Jahnnam, right? So, and when it says akthiru, increase from it, so you can't just do that once, like once a week. And the ulama have explained that it requires you to constantly be remembering death. And one of the ways to remember death is to set time for remembering of death, muraqabah, meditate on death. And I gave an example of one of the sheikhs, just sit and describe. He said 5 minutes I sit down daily and think about death. The time that I'm going to die, I'm in the hospital, let's say I have a heart attack for example, and I'm in the hospital, my family covers me with a sheet, and or the doctor covers me with a sheet, and they give the bad news to my family. Then my body is taken to wash, kafan is done, and then I'm brought before the Imam and he prays Salat al-Janazah. Then I'm taken to the cemetery. Then the dirt is put on top of my grave. He goes through all this, spends time for it. And the Rasulullah said, make with kathra, with profusely make dhikr. I mean, you have to do it at your job. You have to do it with when you're among your family. So you can't be forgetful. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells that dread the Qiyamah, the judgment draws near, but most people they're heedless. And I mentioned Abu Hamad, if I remember the name correctly, Lafaf, Rahimahulla, his saying was that a person is honored with three things if he remembers death. He is remembered with a quick ta'jil tawbah. He makes tawbah quickly. If death is always in front of him, he'll make tawbah. If he does something wrong, he'll make tawbah quickly. Second thing is qana'a fil qut. He will have contentment in his daily bread, like what Allah has given him. Else he will not be content, not be happy with what Allah has given him. And thirdly is nashat fil ibadah. He will have like energy in his ibadah, because he remembers death. It helps. These are the three gifts, the karama Allah gives for the person who remembers death a lot. And the person who doesn't do that, the reverse is the case. Tawbah is delayed. Do it later. Sometimes might not even get a chance to do tawbah. Second thing is that he'll not have qana'ah. He'll complain about his rizq, what Allah has given him. And thirdly, he'll be lazy in his ibadah, because he doesn't remember death, right? And this is based in the explanation of the hadith that Abdullah bin Umar bin As radiallahu anhu said, I was one of 10. One of the Ansar asked a question from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that who is the most intelligent of people and who's the most noblest of people. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that the most um, the one who remembers death the most, and the one who has ashaddu isti'adad, that he most intense in his preparation for it. They have taken the sharaf of this dunya and the karama of the akhirah. The one who remembers death a lot. Like, it's not something grim or something. No, it's actually extremely powerful way and to move a person in his deen and to make him. And the reason why a lot of the talks don't work on us is because of not remembering death. Like, we listen to today's videos, we probably know so much things, right? Because we don't remember death and what's coming after death. Like, we know so much information about Islam. This is one of the great ulama. This is why I started this series. There's going to be one series about Janna, maybe Jahannam first, then Jannah to end it off with. But it's coming, inshallah. That'll take maybe many years. But the reason is, like he said that, Rahimahulla, a great muhaddith, he said that the Muslims in the West, they know a lot about deen. They have a lot of information about do's and don'ts, halal and haram. This is the age of information, right? So there's a lot of availability for the general Muslim, more so than the past. But they don't know much about akhirah, and this is like a deficiency in us, in myself anyway, that we're not akhirah centric. Like, and if you look at the deen, the way Rasulullah ﷺ taught us, and the way what he taught us in even the smallest things that we do, man amana billahi wal yaum al-akhir falyukrim dayfa. What's so good? Like, it affects everything, the way we do things. The one who believes in Allah in the last day, then he should honor his guest. Right? Man aman billahi wal yawmil akhir fala yu'dhi jara. The one who believes in Allah in the last day, he should not harm his neighbor. Man aman billahi, who believes in Allah and akhirah. Right? So it's a very fundamental thing that's tied, even connected and put next to the belief in Allah. In the Quran as well, in the Hadith as well, like belief in Allah and belief in akhirah are put together. It's a fundamental aspect that we need to be conscious of, because that's what all our deen is. Our 5 times salat is about akhirah. Our Eid salat is about akhirah. And if the imams and the ulama and the pious of the past, they looked at it like that. They looked like Shaykh al-Qadir. I was reading one of the books, Shaykh al-Qadir Jilani Rahimahullah. He was saying that how the Eid Salat is supposed to. I mentioned this in khutbahs, in Eid khutbahs, that Eid Salat is supposed to remind. In the old days, it reminds you about the Day of Judgment. So you'll see the rich people coming in their horses and carriages. You'll see the poor people walking there. You'll see the rich people with their, whatever worldly thing. You see some people driving their Mercs and their Lambos and whatever not. Whatever worldly, whatever expression of material possession that they have is there. And you see, us coming in our Camrys and whatnot, There was a joke, someone told me in South Africa that someone said that because they said Toyota Camry is their car that will go to Jannah, because all the imams there in South Africa, apparently everyone drives a Toyota Camry. Wallahu a'lam. But so it's on the day of Eid, it's supposed to remind us of Akhirah, because there, like everyone's in safs, the whole community is there. On the day of Judgment, we're not going to be the same. Like the people at Eid, they come in different cars and different levels of society. The who's who, everybody comes. Some people are treated differently, and some people are. Some people dress differently. On the day of Qiyamah, it's going to be the same also. But it's the currency there, and the differentiation is based on amal, iman and amal. That's the courts there. And those who have high amal, please Allah more, they'll have a higher station. They'll have more qurb, and they'll have a greater station, greater reward. They'll be sitting on thrones made out of pearls and rubies and so forth. So people forget all this, because we are just the small measurements that we have of this dunya, and we're just looking at this world only, draws near for mankind their reckoning while they turn away in heedlessness. أَتَى أَمْرُ اللَّهِ فَلَا تَسْتَعْجِلُوهُ سُبْحَانَهُ وَتَعَالَى عَمَّا يُشْرِكُونَ. The event, the hour or punishment of disbelievers and polytheists, or in brackets it's saying, the event ordained by Allah will come to pass, so seek not to hasten it. The event, the amr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala regarding the Qiyama, it's coming. It's ordained by Allah, it will come to pass, so seek not to hasten it. The hour of the punishment of the disbelievers and the polytheists, or the Islamic laws or commandments are ordained by Allah, will come to pass, seek not to hasten it. يَسْأَلُكَ النَّاسُ عَنِ السَّاعَةِ يَسْأَلُكَ النَّاسُ عَنِ السَّاعَةِ قُلْ إِنَّمَا عِلْمُ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ وَمَا يُدْرِيكَ لَعَلَّ السَّاعَةَ تَكُونُ قَرِيبًا. People ask you concerning the hour. Say, the knowledge of this, it is with Allah only. What do you know? It may be that the hour is near. And then there's another ayat here. It's a bit long. I'll just read the English. A questioner asked, سأل السائل بعذاب واقع للكافر ليس له دافع من الله ذي المعارج, till the end. A questioner asked concerning a torment about that befall upon the disbelievers, which none can avert from Allah, the Lord of the ways of ascent, the angels and the Ruh, Jibreel, alayhi salam ascend to him in a day, the measure whereof is 50,000 years. So be patient, O Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, with a good patience. Verily, they see it, the torment, afar off, but we see it quite near. They see it that the azab is very far. It's something in the back of the mind, should not be really something concerned with. And like sometimes we're like that, isn't it? Like we sort of push it to the back of our mind and we don't really, the reality, haqiqah is not there. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but we see it as quite near. The day that the sky will be like the boiling filth of oil, or molten copper, or silver, or lead. And the mountains will be like flakes of wool. And no friend will ask of a friend, though they shall be made to see one another. Like the mates, the people that you did maybe wrong for, the people that were very close to you in Qiyamah, even if they didn't do wrong for them, they will not see each other. There will be none but see his father, children, and relatives, but he will neither speak to them nor will ask them for any help. اقتربت الساعة وانشق القمر. The hour has drawn near and the moon has been cleft asunder. The people of Makkah requested Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to show them a miracle, and so he showed them the splitting of the moon. This ayat is mentioned here. The hour has drawn near. وَيَوْمَ يَحْشُرُهُمْ كَأَن لَّمْ يَلْبَثُوا إِلَّا سَاعَةً مِنَ النَّهَارِ يَتَعَارَفُونَ بَيْنَهُمْ قَدْ خَسِرَ الَّذِينَ كَذَّبُوا بِلِقَاءِ اللَّهِ وَمَا كَانُوا مُهْتَدِينَ. And the day he shall gather, resurrect them together, it will be as if they had not stayed in the life of this world and graves but an hour of a day. Only like for an hour, for a bit, for a small amount of time. Like their whole life, all the achievements, all the things that we've done in this world, even if you lived for 1,000 years, like it felt like just a little hour, a moment. Sometimes it feels like that, like even in this dunya, while you're here, it feels like where's all the time gone? You know, like one of my father's friends, I met him, like, so I was like my 20s, and so there's been a gap, and he was like, he got like a shock, like a real genuine shock, because the time, he realized how much time had gone, because he grew up with my father, they studied together, so like he just met and just got shocked. And sometimes, yeah, like I was talking to my friend, I remember when my son was born, and 20 something, 22 years ago now almost. So and my friend, his daughter, just got married, right? So it was like what? Like it took, because I haven't seen him for many years, and it just it just hits you. The time, the 20 years, 25 years. I tell brothers, I said, listen, the 20s sound they're a bit exciting, but the 30s will disappear. You'll never know what happened in 30 to 40. You don't even know, and 40 you start thinking about the end. So it's like the 30 to 40 is like a blur. Like you don't know, you look back like what happened last decade, subhanallah, and it goes very subhanallah, it goes very very quickly. One more ayat inshallah. الله الذي أنزل الكتاب بالحق والميزان وما يدريك لعل الساعة قريب يستعجل بها الذين لا يؤمنون بها والذين آمنوا مشفقون منها ويعلمون أنها الحق. It is Allah who has sent down the book, the Quran, in truth and the balance, that is to act justly, and what can make you know that perhaps the hour is close at hand. Those who believe not therein seek to hasten it. Like those who don't believe, yeah, bring that. They kept these challenges they gave to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So bring the Qiyamah, like bring the day. While those who believe are fearful of it. Allah is describing the state of a mu'min regarding akhirah. And know that it is a very truth. Verily those who dispute concerning the hour are certainly error far away. So that is the mu'min is mushfiq. He's a mushfiq, means he has a mushfiqun. The believers are mushfiqun, they're fearful. They're fearful of the day of judgment, because what's to come, because they don't know they're standing before their Rabb. We don't know our standing. And like one of the great ulama of the early, he passed away in the middle of the 20th century. He said, and my teacher was reading this to us in madrasa when we were studying. He said these two sentences. The great sheikh, wrote like 1,500 books and booklets from India. He said, I say these two sentences to myself every day, that I am the worst Muslim on the face of the earth, because I don't know if any of my amal are accepted. While another Muslim, he could just say subhanallah once. We know there's a hadith mentioned a person la ilaha illallah, and that be enough that Allah is so happy with that Allah may forgive him. I don't know if any of my amal is accepted until Allah judges me, and we make this dua, Allahumma hasibna hisaban yasira. Allah give us an easy account. That's the dua that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allahumma hasibna hisaban yasira. Allah give me an easy accounting, meaning that I'm not asked. Allah doesn't ask me. Allah make my accounting easy, meaning that Allah doesn't ask me. And he said that, and the second sentence that I say to myself every day is that I'm the worst Muslim on the face of the earth. And second thing, the sentence that I say is that I'm worse than a pig and a kafir if I die without iman. I'm worse than a pig and a kafir, isn't it? That if a person died without iman, there's a potential before I leave this world that I might lose. Allah protect us all and save us in our progeny, our dhurriya and family, and the ummah. But there is a possibility that I could lose. Since the possibility there, then I could be worse than a kafir. And a kafir can become Muslim and get hidayah, go to Jannah. Isn't it? Like we know so many. I knew a person I used to meet semi-regularly. He said Shahada on Ramadan, in his 80s, in the night time. He died 3 o'clock in the morning, the same night. It happens. Like he hit a home run on the first shot and that's it. He's out of there. There's in Sirah is there as well. The one came and he didn't even pray one salat. He became Muslim, went to battle and became shaheed. So it can happen like that as well. And then there's people that lose. So we have to be fearful. Sahaba radiallahu anhum were fearful they were munafiqeen. Just think about that. They're with Rasulullah 20. Most one of the tabi'een mentioned, I met 40, 50, 70, something like that Sahaba. I think 40 or 70. Every one of them was scared that he was munafiq. Mushfiqun. They're scared of their county. They haven't given them any label. I'm a mu'min, I'm salih, I'm a good Muslim, alhamdulillah, she'll be right, I'm good, we're good to go, I'm ready to meet Allah, hurain, Jannah, all what we want, in Jannah. Inshallah, Allah make us for that. But make us reach there. But we've already given the tick, we already got the ticket, we got the thing. So a mu'min is fearful because he doesn't know. And the one who fears, he will be saved. The one who is not, then they're like, yeah, bring it, it's not worry. It's going to happen anyways. I'll be there, she'll be right. For those who are listening from overseas, she'll be right is an Australianism. So everything will be okay. It means everything will be okay. No, we should worry. No worries. No, we should worry. That doesn't apply in this case. Every person should. That's why in Surah Fatiha, we're asking Allah, Maliki yawmiddin. Right? Maliki yawmiddin, the owner of the day of decision, day of judgment, is reminded to us in Fatiha every day. In every rakat that we're doing, we're turning to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala about this day. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us understanding and tawfiq to practice. Inshallah, it's the start of a new dars. Allah give acceptance and that it affects us and changes us, inshallah, for the better. Jazakumullah khairan for your time.